Hello learners, I am Dr. Subodh Kesharwani working with Indira Gandhi National Open University in School of Management Studies. The topic which I am going to talk today is Business Information System, and we are going to see that how this topic is going to helpful to the learners by and large. So this business information system is in today's competitive world when life is so complex and complicated, the only way of success is regular upgradation and hard work. There is definitely success stories of people in business. How did they all succeed? Not by sheer magic, but going into the deep and deep of information system. So business information system is the fifth unit in this particular course, which we usually called computer application business, and this is part of a BCom course, and this is a skill enhancement 4-credit elective course, and this course talks about how the business information system is going to facilitate the business houses, the business, and the society who are the part of that, and facilitate in decision making. So in this business information system you will find out the data is there, the information is there, then database management system is there, then there are different ways by which the data is going to be handled, and then ERP systems, then management information systems. The regulator had come up, that is general data protection regulations, which are there, and then there are some other ways by which the things are going to be there. So anyway, as far as this particular unit is concerned, it's going to be bifurcated in a 3-4 lectures, and we are in the first lectures which talks about the business information systems. And if you see this particular image, we find out that business is at one place, management is another place, then IT is another place, and business information system works as an enabler, works as an integrator, which integrates all the phenomena, that is business, management, and IT. If you go through the particular Venn diagram, you will find out that business information systems is somewhat abstract with that. So data is going to play a very important role, and if you see this particular this data handling, when you talk about this is part of our block 2, and in this block 2 we have seen that there is a title called data handling, and when you talk about the data handling, this data handling is nothing but how you're going to handle the data, because today data is a real-time data, today data is talking about the big data and talking about the gigantic data. So how you're going to handle the data, that is something which is quite important. So this block focuses on the usability of computers for handling available data, which is of the great use for the organization. So this particular block familiarizes the learners with various data handling techniques, services and security measures, because when you are started playing with the data, the sensitiveness comes into picture. The plastic money is there, the wallets are involved, the currency is involved. So then then there is a question of cyber threats, cyber hacking, or another model had come up. So it also focuses on the applicability of internet in business to facilitate the organization in conducting their business more smoothly. So if you see this data handling is the process of ensuring that research data is stored, archived, or disposed of in a safe and secure manner during and after the conclusion of a research project. So when you talk about the data handling, this includes the development of policies, procedures to manage data handled electronically as well as through non-electronic means. So when you're talking about non-electronic means, you are just storing the data in a physical format, in a print format, or in a format which not involves the technology into picture. So big data process, if you talk about, starts with the big data, then you have got machine learning, then descriptive analysis, then artificial intelligence is there, and big data analytics is there. So data science and all those the terminologies which are using and going to play a very important role, because what I have talked about, when you go more into the depth of the data starts with the information, then knowledge, then wisdom, and this data is changing with the change of time. There was a time when data was just 2-3 letters, but right now the data is purely a real-time data, and today's data may be redundant tomorrow. So how you are going to store the real-time data, how you are going to talk about the data which is going to be fruitful for the society or for the individual by and large, there this data handling is going to play a very important role. And if you see this particular chapter, business information system, as I have talked about, that we have already have a first block completion, which talks about introduction to computers, then application of computers, then web application, and what are the certain softwares which are facilitating the users, or the business houses. So this is block 1, and block 2 talks about the data handling. It starts with the business information system, then security measures, then how you're going to configure the email and use the internet services, then plastic money, e-wallets, and online payment is there. So anyway, if you see this particular course, particular title, that is business information system, we are here with the data and information. Then what is a preamble to curtain result to business information system, because when you talk about the business information, you have to talk about the integration of technology and business, and the more involvement of technology can lead to more expensive affair for the business house. And if these business house are not able to plan the technology, or strategically not able to use the technology, they are on the deathbeds. There are some good examples of the business houses, and there are some bad experience also. And it is very well said that change is always good, but sometimes the change is always bad. So if you every time you rush away for the change, I think there the problem occurs. So how you're going to adapt the change, how you're going to adapt the scenario, and so that the whatever the change you have absorbed is going to be intermingle into it. So we have seen that there are many cases where people or the organization rush for the change, rush for the latest technologies, or the state of art technologies. But finally, what happened when they come to conclusion, when they come to implementation, there the problem occurs, because their legacy system is not synchronizing with the contemporary thought mindset of the individuals, the people who are working in the organization. They are not able to adapt the change. Execution is very slow, very weak. So there the problem occurs. So these are certain the pitfalls. These are certain stumbling blocks which sometimes create an issue. So how you're going to come out and how you're going to apply, how you're going to implement, that is more important. So this database management system, which talks about relational database management system, then data abstraction, database administration, data retrieval is more important, because whatever the data you have stored, sometimes you require it to use it for the future purpose, but your servers, your the external storage is not able to do that. So this is also sometimes because whatever the time frame you have given to store the data, if you are not going to retrieve the data, ultimately there's a loss of certain amount. So that need to be taken care. So decision support system, enterprise resource planning, which is need of an hour. And if you talk in a present scenario, this ERP system is an integrated system, and every company is proud to have a package, an integrated package which had taken the shape of an enterprise resource planning. And there are a lot of vendors who are working in these directions. For banking industry, we have a Finacle which is developed by Infosys, and you find out majorities of banking industries, bankers are using this softwares. On the other hand, there are different ERP vendors. We have a full-fledged session on ERP which talks about how the vendors are, because SAP is there, then Microsoft Dynamics is there, and some other vendors are there, PeopleSoft, and Oracle is there. So how they are facilitating their consumers, who could be the Fortune 500 companies, because when ERP had been initiated in the very beginning, it was scattered the Fortune 500 players. But after a certain time, the customization comes, the SMEs flavors comes, short and medium sized enterprise has come. So there was a great use of ERP systems. And if you talk in the present scenario, every institutions are in the process of using the ERP systems. Either it could be the government institutions or the private institutions, because student support systems, or the delivering the content, or the teachers details, or the instructor details, or a lot of payroll and other facility financial issues are there. There ERP is going to play a very important role. Then MIS is very important, this management information system, which was there before ERP systems, and right now the general data protection regulators had come up because people have started misusing the data. The corporate house take the data of the individuals, and then after certain time they either pass on the data to someone else, or sold the data. So this malpractices is going to be regulated by this general data protection regulations, which was started in the year 2018 by United Nations in a as an initiative to regulate and protect the individual privacy, and for this purpose this GDPR policy had developed. We will definitely throw a light on how this GDPR is working, and those who are adhered to the GDPR policies, they are benefited, and those who are taking it lightly or not following the rules and regulations, they are in big trouble. So either it could be the individual or the corporate house or whatever it could be. So this business information system is, after studying this unit, you should be able to introduce the readers with the concept of data information, highlight the organizations of the available informations in the effective decision making, and then highlight the need and implication of business information system, because today information system is not merely an information system or information technology. It is something which have a commercial presence, and this is where the business is going to be benefited by and large by this. And business information system is a very burgeoning term, and it's changing with the change of time. When you go more into depth of business information system, you will find out it's a combination of variety of things. Hardware could be one of the ingredients, then telecommunication, then data management, then business process and business objectives. And I think objective is very important because what we have observed that there are certain organizations who are not acquainted with the latest technologies, but they try to imbibe it. So this is where they are away from their objectives or purpose. So if they are away from their objective or purpose, what will happen that they it become a costly affair or become useless affairs for them. So based on the objectives, the technology need to be introduced or implemented, and if the objective is less, then the less technology would be used in a phase implementation manner. And if you think that integration need to be done in one shot, then big bang or the various model is there which is going to be applicable. So if you talk about this data and information, if you see this data is without context, cannot be utilized by themselves, and meaningless, and it could be raw in nature and can be composed of letters, this, and but moment you convert into information, it take a process shape and can be used to make decisions or conclusions. So data starts with the information, then information converts into knowledge, and knowledge is helpful for taking the decisions. So end of the day, decision is going to be very important, because if you have got a gamut of data of the consumers, you have to think about from that particular data that what exactly the consumers want. If if the company have developed any product and the consumers are giving the mandate to make certain changes or revamp the particular product, and the company is not going to do that, they will be out from the market. There are certain examples, there are certain good examples, there are certain bad examples, and we have seen that the corporate houses who were dominating the businesses, who were dominating the trade and commerce, they are now nowhere part of this fray, and they are away from it. So it is because they have not changed themselves, they had not adapt the mandate given by the consumers. So if you want to explore the data, you have to go in a very very systematic manner. It starts with the data, then information, then knowledge, and then decisions. So information is a processed, organized data presented in a given context, and it is useful to humans. And data is an individual unit that contains raw material which does not carry any specific meaning, and information is a group of data that collectively carry a logical meaning. I think because end of the day, results matter, how you are going to use the information. So there are companies who are playing with the gamut of the opinions given by the consumers, and try to revamp the product and then work on that directions accordingly. So if you see This big data, I think we have talked a lot about data information. Then now the question comes about the big data, because the corporate house, the individuals, or the group of researchers are now storing a data. Now these data are converted and taken a shape of a big data, and this big data consists of data sets that are voluminous and more complex. Complex in the nature that varieties of informations are there now, and now it is up to you that how you're going to customize the data. So traditional data processing application software are inadequate to deal with them, because these application software have got certain constraints, and we have seen in our preceding lectures that how the application software differs from system software and other softwares, and how these application softwares are working in this direction. So big data analytics facilitates or process one step ahead to that as far as the application software is concerned. Then big data challenges include capturing data, data storage, data analysis, search, sharing, transfer, visualization, querying, updating, information privacy, and data source. Because the way GDPR is coming up, General Data Protection Regulations had come up, you have to be quite adhered to the data which is more sensitive in nature and how you're going to use the data. So there are 5 dimensions to big data known as volume, variety, velocity, and some other V's have also been added. So in our preceding slides, we will see that how this volume, variety, velocity is playing a very important role, and then there are certain veracity and value had come up. Because if you are going to add the values, you are more talking about the ethics, morality, or the social responsibility. So big data gained significant popularity globally because of its capability to revolutionize the businesses and services, and big data has an impact on every aspect of our daily life. So the trend is changing, the concept is changing, the mindset is changing, which had affecting the daily life of the individual. So there was a time when we go and buy the product from the Parchun wala, or there was a time when barter trade was there. There were no currency, but right now you see through e-commerce, through plastic money, through credit card, you have no money in your pocket. You have no, but you can use the credit limits. You can use the credit limits or the credit card limits, and then buy the food, or the basic items, or the white goods. So this is a new change in your daily life. So emerging technologies like Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning are fueled by big data, and a lot of algorithm is going to play a very important role. If you talk about the algorithm is helping the individuals. It's not benefiting the corporate house, but to the consumers also. And if you have used the artificial intelligence and you are going to buy any product, say LED TV, now the moment you buy the LED TV, and there are certain portals which are working as aggregators, you just float that I'm interested in buying LED TV. So they are going to give you the comparative view. They are going to give you the comparative view about the 32-inch, about 43-inch or 40-inch, that and about the price, and what are the offers attached with that, and what are the bank benefits, like EMI option is there, or the different kind of option is there. So very easily you can compare it and find out that from where you can get the best price and best delivery time, and all other things are there. So this is the way by which the comparison need to be done, and the storing of data is very important. So the taste about the consumers, even when you have done the comparative view, and you have put float certain the presence on the particular portal, they can navigate you that if you wait for 3 days or 5 days, some best offers are coming up, and at that time you can buy the product. So what exactly the data is doing, or the analytics is doing, it is not only helping you in buying the product or giving you the best price, but sometimes it can provide you the best way to buy, or it can provide you certain options that you can wait for some time and then you can buy. So these are where the robots and AIs are going to play a very important role, and they can also judge your taste and approach also. So in future, if any kind of similar product comes, they can give you the budge, and then you can know about the taste, at what time you can go for the window shopping, or what kind of product you are going to buy, and what are your tastes at, and when your the inventory stock which you are using is going to be accomplished, so that you can order the next product. So now the robots or the artificial intelligence are going to take care about certain things. So big data has become the major focus of scientists and technologists because of Indian government's new initiatives, like the Digital India movement had come up, where governance is going to be established in a very systematic manner. The government is taking care about the citizen interest and facilitate the thing in that manner, like uh, subsidies and direct bank transfer or something like that. So if you see this big data, I think the right side figure is quite explanatory in nature. It talks about the big data, which is quite gigantic, and and converted into analytics. Now, when you convert the big data into analytics, somewhat you have regulated the data, somewhat you have analyzed the data, and then you see that the scattered data is somewhat regulated and analyzed, but it is not able to helpful for taking the decisions. So you start with the big data, then analyze the data, and then decision is there. And the moment you see the decision, it is converted into a different shape, in different colors, and able to useful in a more systematic manner. So when you talk about the big data, it's real-time streaming analytics. Then enterprise data warehouse is there. We have a full-fledged session on data warehouse, data mining, and database management system, DBMS, which talks about that how how you're going to warehouse the data, how you're going to talk about the data mining, data warehousing, because why we create a warehouse, we keep the corporate house keep the warehouse, so that there could not be any scarcity of the inventory which they are manufacturing or producing. They make the product, they keep it in the warehouse, and then from warehouse it either goes to supplier or to the distribution channel or directly goes to the consumers. So same case happens with the data also. If you make a data warehouse, you can use the data as per your convenience, as per your need, as per your pace, and when and in what quantity you are exactly using it. So then business intelligence comes. Business intelligence talks about that how intelligently you are using it, and how this machine learning or deep learning or this business intelligence is important, because when exactly you require to use the technology in more systematic manner. So predictive analysis is there, where you can know about the futures, and on the basis of the future demands, you can enhance your supply or reduce the supply, where to ship the inventory, and how you're going to do that, and where the demand comes, usually you keep the thing. So this predictive analysis is very important in this. So if you see this particular image, the next image, which talks about the big data types, and the big data starts with the structured data, then unstructured data, and semi-structured data. If you see the semi-structured data, like collection, tabulated the data, and then unstructured data sometimes available on the social networking site, either it could be Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube. Then from that you start structuring the data through this SQL servers, through database softwares, either the Oracle or the Excel spreadsheet which is there. So big data, data science, and data analytics is very important, because data science is somewhat facilitating data handling. Data analysis is also one step ahead to that, and then intelligent big data is right now coming up, where the age of AI is there. So we have moved from age of big data to age of analytics and age of AI, where robots are working as enablers, and robots are right now no more robots, but they are cobots. That is collaborative effort of humans and robots. So what we observe that this model is going to play a very important role, and we have seen that if you see this big data starts with the volume. That is, volume talks about the size of data, then velocity, the speed at which data is generated, because today, and that is the reason you find out that there is a lot of change in the technologies coming up. There was time when i3 generation was there, then i5 had come up, now i7 is coming up, then you find out i10 will there. So this is talking about the speed. There is a change in the storage device also. There was a time when there was a hard disk drives, then there was a different kind of drive. Right now we're talking about a solid state drive, and solid state drive we have different version which is coming up, which is, so now storage is also linked with the speed, and you find out it is more chip based rather than the media based. So variety of different model is coming up, different type of data is there, and how going to segregate the data, how you're going to bifurcate the data as per your convenience. That is going to be very important, and data accuracy is very important, where veracity is very going to play a important role. You have got variety of data, and from that you are going to accurate and see the data accuracy. Then value of useful data and validity, data quality, governance, master data management is also a part of validity. Variability is like dynamic evolving behavior in data source. Sometimes what happens when we are involving the robots, when we are involving the other technological model, I think certain approach comes up, certain behavior, change of behavior comes up, so that need to be recorded and implemented. So distributed heterogeneous data from multiple platform also need to be done, because the data are coming from various platforms, and how you're going to intermingle the data, their venue is going to play a very important role. Then data models, semantics, and description of data structures is important, because there are certain terminologies, there are certain approaches which is there, and vagueness is there, confusion over meaning of big data and tools used, because if you and change, there is a change of tool with the change of time, and what we observe that big data approach is changing with the change of time, and there's a lot of confusion. So how you're going to come out from that, this is all about the big data. And if you see this particular thing, this big data is having the data science, artificial intelligence, then deep learning, data mining. Data mining is part of the database management system and data warehouse, and we see that the data, how the data works. The artificial intelligence sometimes facilitates the big data and convert into a deep learning and machine learning. So machine learning, if you go more into depth, you find out in machine learning the machine is facilitating the humans to do the learning, and deep learning is a filter version of machine learning, where you are just narrow down to the machine and find out what exactly the data you requires. So extracting the data, extracting the real data from the filtering data is somewhat a purpose of deep learning. Then statistics, then business intelligence and analytics is at the top, and you see how the data inspires, and then finally the pushes, and then insight had come up. So when you talk about the business information system, I think business and technology go together. If you talk in the present scenario, and without technology, without information system, business is no more a business, but it have a very limited approach, and have certain constraints, and you are not going to reach to the unreached and cater a big market. So if you want to cater a big market, or crossing the boundaries of one country and put your wear boots in other part of the world, this is where the business information system is going to play, because it can give you the multi-presence, multi-word presence, multi-country presence, and that is the reason you find out the philosophy of multinational companies comes, and or the blue chip companies come. So these blue chip companies or the multinational companies always work through technology, and they think that with the help of technology they can cater a huge market and make their presence in other part of the world, and they are doing it. So it's not occurred with the Western world companies, but with the Indian companies. There are certain Indian companies who are dominating the world market, but on the other hand some Western countries they are coming in and working here. So such systems are designed to support decision making by the people associated with the enterprise in the process of attainment of its objective. So there is a very famous definition by the Lorden that business information system is a group of interrelated components that work collectively to carry out input, processing, storage, output and control actions in order to convert data into information. So right now data is converted into information, and then knowledge, and knowledge into wisdom. So these products can be used to support forecasting. That is very true, because when you are using the BIS, you are talking more about the future research or future business, or the future trend, future mindset, planning, control, coordination, decision making, and operational activities in an organization. Operational activities is very important, because there are certain organizations which have employee of thousands or lakhs in numbers. So how they are going to operate, how their the payrolls, how their work culture or the way they are doing working in the office is going to be recorded. That is more important. So as far as the career prospects concerned, business information system is an exciting and competitive field with high salary potential and expanding job prospects. And you see in the coming times, if you are more acquainted with the business information system, you are very easily placed in the industry, and you can be a product manager, you can be a data modeler, you can be a system analyst, or you can be work in as a developer or database administrator. So these are few names, but some more are there. As a commerce graduate, as a business graduate, this is definitely going to fruitful to you, because when you talk about computer application business, there is a great use of it, but there is a great use in establishing your own enterprise. We have seen that the first generation entrepreneurs come up and develop their own entity, and there this kind of subject, this kind of courses are very much helpful to them. So it's provide various ways by which the things are there. Anyway, I think I have talked a lot about this particular aspect, and this business information system is very fruitful, and this is the first particular chapter as far as computer application business is concerned of the second block. And we will throw a light on more terminologies which are part of this business information systems, like database management system, enterprise source planning, management information system, general data protection regulators, and then we can move into the second the chapters. So we request learners to just have throw a light on this particular term in a more elaborative manner. We have a text available on IGNOU. You can very easily go through the text, which is somewhat a replica of what we are talking over here. Thank you very much. Thank you.